Hey everyone, and welcome back to English with Rio and Ethan. I'm Rio, and I'm so happy you're here with us today.
And I'm Ethan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Whether you're listening on your commute, while you're having breakfast, or maybe even while you're getting your hair done right now, we love it.
Oh, that would be so perfect. Actually, that's exactly what today's episode is about. Today, we're going to talk about English phrases you can use at a hair salon or a barber shop. Super practical, super useful.
Yes, and honestly, this is one of those situations where people freeze up. Like, you know what you want your hair to look like, but explaining it in English, that's a whole different challenge.
Right, exactly. And if you get it wrong, you might walk out with a haircut you did not ask for. That has definitely happened to me before. Okay, so a few years ago, I was living abroad and my English was a work in progress. I walked into a salon and just said, "Short, please," because that was the only word I knew. The stylist took it very literally. I came out looking like I had just joined the military. It took months to grow back. So that's exactly why I think today's episode is so important. We want to make sure none of you go through what I went through.
Absolutely. And even if your English is already good, the salon has specific vocabulary that even advanced learners might not know. We'll go through everything step by step, from the moment you walk in the door all the way to saying goodbye when you leave.
Yes, it's going to feel like a little story. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive in.
Great. So let's set the scene. Imagine you're walking up to a hair salon. You push open the door, you see the receptionist or stylist look up and smile at you. What do you say?
Right. So this is section 1, basic ordering. And it all starts with a very simple phrase. The most natural thing to say when you walk in is, "I'd like to get a haircut, please." Let's say that again slowly. "I'd like to get a haircut, please."
I'd like to get a haircut, please. That's so natural. And I'd like is polite and soft, much nicer than just saying, I want a haircut. Both are understandable, but I'd like sounds more polite and natural in a service situation.
Exactly. The receptionist might ask you, "Do you have an appointment?" or "Did you book online?" And you can just say, "Yes, I have a reservation for 2 o'clock." Or, "No, I'm a walk-in." A walk-in means you came without an appointment. That's a useful phrase, too.
I am a walk-in. Yeah, most salons are happy to take walk-ins when they're not too busy. Okay, so now you're seated. The stylist puts the cape around your shoulders and asks, so what are we doing today?
Oh, yes. What are we doing today? That's such a common opener. It sounds casual, but it just means, what kind of haircut do you want? And this is the moment where you have to be ready. One of the most common answers for a simple trim is, "Just a trim, please." Super easy. Just a trim, please.
Just a trim basically means a small cut. You're not going for a big change, just the ends cleaned up. So just a trim tells the stylist, keep the shape, keep the length, just freshen it up a little.
Right. And maybe you want to keep your length, but your hair feels really thick or heavy. You can say, "I'd like to keep the length, but take some weight out." Let's say that one more time. "I'd like to keep the length, but take some weight out."
Take some weight out, it means to thin the hair so it feels lighter. The stylist might use thinning scissors or a razor. It doesn't change how long your hair is, but it gives more movement and feels less heavy.
And here's a great tip. Always bring a picture. Just hold up your phone and say, "I brought a picture of what I want." This is a game changer because describing a hairstyle in words, even in your native language, is hard.
It really is. I always bring a picture because words can be misunderstood. A picture makes everything so much clearer. And stylists actually love it. It tells them exactly what direction you want to go.
Yes, and if you're not sure what style suits you, ask the stylist for their opinion. What kind of style do you think would look good on me? That's a great way to let the stylist be creative and give you expert advice.
Totally. All right, so let's move into section 2, detailed requests. This is where you get a little more specific about exactly what you want. Ethan, do you want to walk us through some of these?
Could you cut about an inch off the top? Could you cut about an inch off the top? An inch is about 2.5 centimeters. So this is a specific instruction, not just a little bit, but an actual measurement.
Right, and you can change that measurement. You can say half an inch, which is about 1.5 centimeters, or 2 inches if you want more taken off. Just plug in the number that fits what you want. The structure stays the same. Could you cut about blank off the top?
Exactly, nice and flexible. Now, for anyone who has bangs, or in British English, a fringe, here's an important phrase. Please cut my bangs down to my eyebrows. Let's say that slowly. Please cut my bangs down to my eyebrows. So bangs, B-A-N-G-S, that's the hair that falls over your forehead.
Oh yes, and a quick cultural note. In American English, we say bangs, but in the UK, Australia, or New Zealand, you'd say fringe. Same thing, different words. Good to know both.
Such a good note. Okay, next one is, can you thin out the sides a bit? Can you thin out the sides a bit? This is for people whose hair gets really puffy or wide on the sides. Thinning it out means removing some volume so it sits closer to your head and looks neater.
Mm-hmm. And another great request is, I want to layer it a little bit. Layers means the hair is cut at different lengths to create movement and shape. So if your hair feels too flat or one-dimensional, layers can add a lot of life to it.
Right. I think layers are really popular for medium and long hair. And you can say just a few layers if you want something subtle, or lots of layers if you want a really textured look. Very customizable.
Here's one people forget to say and then regret. Please keep my ears uncovered. This tells the stylist you don't want your hair hanging over your ears, neat and tidy on the sides.
That's such a good one. The opposite would be something like, I want my ears covered, meaning you want the hair to fall over or around the ears. Really just depends on the look you're going for.
And our last detailed request phrase for this section, can you blend the top with the sides? Blending means making a smooth transition between two different lengths. Instead of a sharp line, the lengths gradually change, very natural and polished.
Yes, blending is such an important technique, especially for men's haircuts, and it connects perfectly into our next section, which is all about barbershop phrases, specifically for guys. Rio, do you want to introduce this one?
Of course. So, Section 3 is about barber-specific phrases, phrases you'd hear or use more at a men's barbershop. These are a little different from general salon phrases, and they use some specific vocabulary. Ethan, you go to a barbershop, right?
I do, yeah, every few weeks actually. There's a whole system of numbers that barbers use for the clipper guards, the attachments on the electric hair clippers, and until someone explains it to you, it's totally confusing.
Okay, so this is so useful. Barbers use guard numbers to describe how short to cut the hair with clippers. The higher the number, the longer the hair left. A number 1 is very, very short, almost like a buzz cut. A number 3 is about 9 millimeters, which is a popular, neat, short length. A number 8 leaves the hair much longer.
So, if you want shorter sides, a really common and natural phrase is, can I get a number 3 on the sides and back? Let's say that again. Can I get a number 3 on the sides and back? You're telling the barber exactly what guard to use on the clippers. So easy once you know the system.
Exactly. And you can mix numbers. Number 2 on the sides and back, number 4 on top for that classic contrast. Now, another hugely popular men's style is the fade. You've seen fades, right, Rio?
Yes. A fade is when the hair gradually gets shorter as you go from the top down toward the neck and ears. It's a really smooth gradient, and there are different types: a high fade, a mid fade, and a low fade, depending on where the fade starts on the head.
Exactly. So for a subtle, classic look, say, "I'd like a low fade, please." A low fade starts near the bottom of the head, close to the ear and neck, very gradual and understated.
And sometimes you don't need a full haircut. Maybe you just need a little tidying up. The phrase for that is, just clean up around the edges. This means tidy up the hairline around the ears and neckline at the back without actually changing the haircut itself.
Yes, clean up around the edges. I use this all the time for a quick maintenance visit. It's fast, affordable, and it makes such a difference. You go in looking scruffy and come out looking fresh.
Totally. Okay, so now let's move to section 4, the shampoo. Depending on the salon, they might wash your hair before or after the cut. There are some really useful phrases to know for this moment. So you're leaning back over the shampoo sink and the stylist asks, "Is the temperature okay?" If it feels good, say, "The water temperature is perfect." If it's too hot or cold, say, "Could you make it a little warmer?" or "Could you make it a bit cooler?" They're always happy to adjust. And if the stylist is massaging your scalp and you want a little more pressure, just say, "Could you scratch a bit harder right here?" You might point to the spot. Stylists want you to feel comfortable, so speak up. Now you're back in the chair and the stylist is drying and styling your hair. If you have a hair part, just say, "I part my hair on the left," or "I part my hair on the right." Simple and very helpful.
And if the stylist reaches for hair products and you don't want too much, just say, "I don't want too much hair product," or "Could you use just a little bit of product?" Either way works perfectly.
And if you look in the mirror and notice the back is still a little long, just say, "Could you take a little more off the back?" Perfectly polite, totally normal to ask.
Yes, stylists appreciate when you tell them. It's way better than leaving unhappy. They might hold up a mirror so you can see the back. If it looks good, smile and nod. If not, speak up.
Exactly. And when it looks amazing, and it will look amazing, you can say, "It looks great. Thank you." Nice and simple. "It looks great. Thank you." The stylist will love hearing that.
Now, this brings us to section 5, which is all about thanking the stylist properly. And this is actually a cultural thing too, right, Rio? In Western cultures, there's a particular way people express appreciation after a service.
Yes. In Western salons, especially North America, it's expected to give the stylist an enthusiastic, genuine compliment. Not just a quiet thank you, but something warm and energetic. They really appreciate it.
Exactly. A great phrase is, "I love it. You did an amazing job." Say it enthusiastically. The key is the energy. Say it like you mean it, because you do.
I love that one. And if the result is exactly what you pictured, say, "Thank you so much. It's exactly what I wanted." That tells the stylist their hard work paid off.
And here's a phrase that will make any stylist's day. "I'll definitely come back to you next time." Not only was it good, you want them specifically. It builds a great relationship.
Right. And building that relationship with your stylist is so valuable. When they know you and your hair, you don't have to explain everything from scratch every time. And one more sweet phrase, "Thank you for the great conversation too." It acknowledges the social side of the experience. Okay, so now you need to pay. Let's talk about section 6, paying and tipping. Ethan, walk us through the tipping customs first.
Sure, in the United States and Canada, tipping at a salon or barber shop is really expected. The standard tip is 15 to 20% of the total. So if your haircut costs $50, a good tip would be between $7.50 and $10.
Right, and the great news is that you can tip by card now. Most salons have card readers where you can add the tip digitally. If you want to do that, just say, "Can I leave the tip on the card?" Can I leave the tip on the card? The receptionist will just pass you the card reader and you can add your tip right there.
And if you have cash, you can hand it directly to the stylist. A classic way to say it is, keep the change, this is for you. Like, if the haircut was $40 and you hand them $50, you say, keep the change, this is for you. It's warm and direct. Or if you're handing them a specific tip in cash, you can say, here is something for you. Thank you again. Very gracious.
Yes, handing the tip directly with eye contact feels so genuine. Stylists work hard, and tipping is a real way to show gratitude.
And even in the UK or Australia, where tipping is less common, it's still appreciated. In North America, it's truly part of the expected experience. Don't skip it.
Okay, and finally, Section 7. You're done, you've paid, you've tipped, your hair looks gorgeous, you're heading to the door. These last few phrases are the little goodbyes, and they matter. They leave a great impression.
Yes, little goodbyes are so important. You don't just silently walk out, you pause, turn back, and say something warm. One of the nicest things is, have a great rest of your day. Cheerful, kind, and very natural.
I love that phrase. And if it's a Friday or close to the weekend, a lovely one to use is, have a good weekend. Short, warm, and it shows you thought about their life for a second. Have a good weekend. It really brightens the interaction.
And of course, the classic, bye, take care. You can say it with a little wave and a smile, and you are out the door looking fabulous with your fresh haircut. Bye, take care. So easy, so friendly. It's perfect.
Okay, let me quickly recap the whole journey. You walk in and say, I'd like to get a haircut, please. You sit down and say, just a trim, please, or I brought a picture of what I want. You give specific instructions. Could you cut about an inch off the top, or can you blend the top with the sides?
At the barber, you might say, can I get a number 3 on the sides and back? Or I'd like a low fade, please. During the shampoo, the water temperature is perfect. When styling, I part my hair on the left, and I don't want too much hair product.
Then when it's done, it looks great, thank you. And I love it, you did an amazing job. At the counter, can I leave the tip on the card? Or keep the change, this is for you. And out the door, have a great rest of your day. And bye, take care.
That's the complete experience from start to finish. If you just remember 5 or 6 of those phrases, you'll be completely fine in any salon or barbershop in an English-speaking country. You'll sound confident, natural, and polite.
And don't forget, it's okay to be a little nervous. Stylists and barbers are patient, and they want you to be happy. So just breathe, use the phrases, and it'll be great.
And the best way to prepare is to practice these phrases out loud before you go. Say them to yourself in the mirror. The more you say them, the more natural they'll feel when it matters.
Absolutely. Language learning happens in your mouth, not just in your head. You have to say it and hear yourself saying it. You can even role play with a friend. One of you is the customer, one of you is the stylist. It's actually a lot of fun.
Your homework for this episode, before your next haircut, pick the 3 or 4 phrases you'll actually use, memorize them, and then go to the salon and use them for real.
Yes, go out and actually use the English. That's when real learning happens. Even if you make a mistake, that's okay. Mistakes are how you learn.
Just remember, learning English is not about being perfect. It's about being understood and building connections. Every phrase you use is a bridge between you and another human being, and that's something really beautiful.
I love that, Ethan. Language is connection. Every word you learn opens a new door to the world. We are so proud of everyone on this journey with us.
All right, everyone, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We'll be back next week with more practical English for your everyday life. Until then, keep learning, and we'll see you next time.